All right, Corey Hillable here with Farm for Profit, and we are back with Dr. John Murphy talking white papers again, and this one we are specifically looking at their product, UpWard.
Yeah.
John, what is this white paper looking at?
Yep. So the idea behind this white paper was to show the importance of making sure we get the plants off to a good start. Right? When we think UpWard, we can run it In-Furrow, we can run it 2x2.
Yep.
But everything about it is how can we enhance the early part of the season, but then also how do we maximize nutrients throughout the entire season?
Right.
I like to tell people it might not be the flashiest product you're going to use,
Yep.
but I do think it's really important in getting the plant going.
Yep. So it looks like this white paper was in Indiana and Ohio.
Yep.
And it was In-Furrow.
Yes. Yep.
Right.
Run it 2-quart rate.
Okay, at a 2-quart rate, which it doesn't have to be
Correct.
In-Furrow, right? It could be your 2x2
Yep, it could be
system.
2x2. That's the nice thing about UpWard is it's not the biggest, flashiest product, but man, you can put it on every acre in whatever that situation is for you.
So let's get the basics.
Yep.
This is like I said, In-Furrow. It's a 2x2. It's meant to go with a starter.
Yep, so it can go with starter or it can actually just even be run with water. We have a lot of guys that are utilizing it just with water as a carrier even.
Okay, so it's called UpWard. Sounds
Yep.
great. What is it?
Yep, so let's break it down. UpWard really boils down to 3 things, and that's kind of the history of it. So it has a humic acid product in there, right? We love humic acids. Humic acids, there's a kind of a hot key topic right now.
Yep.
We know humic acids are going to help hold nutrients right around that seed, but we also know humic acids can stimulate root growth. And so when we think about that early season plant, we want to hold the nutrients, but then we've got to get those roots going, right? The larger our roots, the better probability that we're going to uptake water and nutrients.
Right. So what are those doing in the plant and in the soil?
Yep, definitely. So that first part with the humic is all about modifying that microenvironment. We always talk CECs. What are your CECs of your soil?
20 to 30.
20 to 30.
Yeah.
So you have some pretty heavy
Yep.
ones. I work with a lot that are even lighter. Humic acids, though, they can have CECs measured in the hundreds.
Wow.
And so it's not that we're changing the whole soil, but we're holding it right there. And then again, we're trying to enhance what's happening with the plant with that humic side. But then we pair it with 2 other things. We pair it with a sugar source. We call it octane.
Okay.
Right? Sugar, when we think about crops, that's another hot topic. A lot of guys are saying, hey, I can go over to this store and just buy some granular sugar. Let's melt it down. Let's spray it on.
Yep.
Right? When we think our octane, though, our sugar is specific with simple and complex. I think about our own diet. I don't have a great diet, but I know I'm not supposed to just eat simple sugars. Plants are the same way.
Right.
And then we pair it with our third one, which is what we call it net technology. And that net technology helps us to solubilize phosphorus. When we look at our soils, we have huge phosphorus loads in our soil. Problem is we don't have access to it. It's tied up with the organic matter. It's tied up with calcium. And so this net technology helps to solubilize it into a plant available form.
Yeah, that is true. We have very high numbers. We just
Yes.
need access to it.
Yeah,
Right?
and it's expensive this year. Let's be honest. I mean, way out of line with where our commodity prices
If I could
are.
just get access to what's in my soil, I probably wouldn't be spending all that money on MAP or DAP. You know?
Nor would your kids.
Right? Right? Yeah, exactly. It also looks like there's a fulvic acid in there as well.
Yep. So paired with that humic is a fulvic. So anytime you have humic, you have fulvics with it.
Got it.
And so the real difference between there is humic is really large. Oftentimes we associate with the soil. The fulvics are very small and they really enhance nutrient uptake. And so that's why we pair those together. It's all about getting the plant going and getting the nutrients in it.
Yep. Well, let's talk results from
Yep.
this specific white paper. I mean, I know you know results from a lot more than that, but it looked like this one's a little bit lower ROI, 4 bushel per acre bump.
Yep, 4 bushel. And so, like I said, probably not the flashiest, but
Right.
this is what I'm going to tell you, that 4 bushel starts to add up, even in today's market. 4 bushel, at least on my own farm, can be the difference between making money and not making money at the end of
Right.
the year. And so when you start to scale that up, that 4 bushel over 300, 400, 500 acres of corn becomes a really solid number. And it's again goes back to how are we getting the plant going? We can never go back to that starting point.
Yep. So the ROI on that was $8 an
Yep.
acre. So it's still ROI after paying for the product, right?
yeah.
So we're moving in the right direction. What stood out to me was the In-Furrow program. It was
Yes.
$99. an
Yes, when you paired it, right, against the idea of no In-Furrow program.
Yep.
And so to me, when I think about, man, what can we bring? That's something we can bring, and that's a conversation that we need to be having with our growers.
Yep.
You pair this, look at what happens when you take a system approach to
Yep.
it.
Well, let's talk real world use.
Yep.
I'm talking 10, 30, 4.0 starters and all that. Whenever I think of that and adding something to it, I get a little nervous.
Sure. As you should, because we've had
play
lots
well
of,
with others.
Yep, it plays great with others. And so when we think about mixing it, again, it's that idea that it's going to enhance everything that's in the tank with it and help hold it right where it's needed to be.
And what about rates?
Yep. So the study we did was 2 quarts the acre. I've got guys, I think you guys even run it at 1 quart to the acre. So it's not a cookie cutter program. It's kind of based off, hey, what are you battling? What can we help you with? Let's fine tune it.
Yep. And lastly, what should we be looking for in our plants after we apply this?
Yep. So definitely, I think it boils down to a couple of things. I like doing root digs because we know that humic can enhance our root growth. So again, it may not look a whole lot different above ground, look below ground. If you do tissue tests, I like to look at tissue tests because the technology in there enhances nutrient uptake. And then, of course, hope that follows all the way through the season.
Yeah. My favorite result is the yield monitor. So
yes.
That's what I want to see. So there you have it. Another white paper from AgXplore, always learning and always improving.